Hello again, everybody. I hope everybody's doing well out there today. So I just want to start today with a quick reminder that yesterday we had our Unit 1 test in Canvas. So if you have not done that yet, please log into Canvas, and that'll be for yesterday, October 5th. You'll see the tests there, so please get that completed. You get 3 attempts, so if you don't do too good on the first one, make sure you take out your notes and go through. Take a look at everything we've done so far, and then you can give it a second attempt and a third if you need it after that. But after 3 attempts, it is closed off. So today we're going to be starting Unit 2 with talking about word problems with integer operations. So today we'll just be talking about addition and subtraction of integers, so positive and negative whole numbers and 0, right? So we're going to start off with some definitions. So we have a check register here. So this is a chart that helps us keep track of how much money, that we have in our bank account at any given time. And we'll see an example of that later. So deposit, or credit in other terms, so these will mean the same thing when you see them, is the amount of money we add to our account, or we put into our account. So this acts as a positive number since we are adding it to our account. Next one is withdrawal, or debit in banking terms. So withdrawal and debit are going to mean the same thing. So this is the amount of money we subtract out of our account or spend. So this is the amount of money of a check you write, or if you use your debit card when you make a purchase, this is happening. So this acts as a negative number since we are spending it or taking it out of our account. So balance, this is the current amount of money that we have in our account after each deposit and withdrawal has been made. Another way we could say that, it's the new amount of money that we have in our account after we spend or put some money in there. So we're going to take a look at our check register here and see how we would use one of these. So this is how people used to keep tabs of how much money they had in their account before we had debit cards. So people with checkbooks and stuff would have to use this method every day. So we're starting out on 9/22 here, so we open our account with a $200 deposit. So deposit means add, right? And we see it up here. So we are adding $200 to open our account. So next we write a check to Farm Fresh for groceries, and $30 is withdrawn. So we are going to, well, our balance when we deposit that is 200. So now we are withdrawing or spending or debiting some money here. So we are spending $30, right? And then we're going to figure out how much we have left for our balance. So minus that $30 we spent is going to give us $170 in our account. So we get paid and deposit our paycheck in the amount of $400. So depositing, we'll be adding that to our account, $400. So 400 plus that 170 that we had left over before from our spending is going to be $570. And now we have to pay our Verizon bill for our cell phone. So we are paying or taking a withdrawal of that $120. So 570 minus that 120 is going to give us, when we do our subtraction algorithm here, so we have $450 left over. So when we're taking care of this stuff, we're just really working with integers. We're adding and subtracting whole numbers here. Whether they be negative or positive. In this case, all positive numbers we were dealing with. All right. So we're going to need to be able to take word problems and figure out a mathematical expression, and then so we can figure out our answer there. So our example here, Stuart has $65 in his account. So we'll just start it off here. He had 65. He deposited 25 on Monday, so we're going to be adding 25. And let's just figure out what he has right away from that. So that's going to be $90. And we'll start out with our 90, and then he withdraws 40 on Tuesday. So remember, withdrawing is taking out money. So that's going to leave us with $50 there. So how can we write this as an expression? Well, we're just starting with that $65, adding the 25 that he deposited, and then subtracting that 40 that he spent. So we already found out our answer by doing our work over here, but that's how we're going to come up with a mathematical expression for that. And we said that he has $50 left. Don't forget to label your answers all the time. Just a couple more examples with stuff like this. So Jack drove to the parking lot that was located at the beginning of Great Falls Trail, which is a hiking trail in the Blue Ridge Mountains. So the parking lot was 123 feet above sea level, and that's a positive number because above sea level. After hiking for 30 minutes, Jack stopped at an overlook that was 210 feet above sea level and rested for 10 minutes. Okay, so we shouldn't start with that number then. All right. So we're worried about how much more above sea level was the overlook from the parking lot. Well, we're going to start with our bigger number there because we want to know how far above it he was. So if we're thinking of he hiked and he was at 123 feet, and then he hiked some more and he was at 210 feet, we want to know this distance here. And we can figure that out by taking that 210 and minusing the 123. So if we need some practice with our subtraction algorithm here, we're going to write the number we're starting with and subtract the number we're subtracting, of course. So we can't take away 3 from 0, so we're going to borrow this 10 here. And then, so that'll be 7. Once again, we have to borrow from this column, so 10 minus 2 is 8. And that is going to cancel out to give us 0. So he is 87 feet above where he started. Alrighty, next, so Jack hiked for 25 more minutes and stopped to eat his lunch at a picnic table next to the trail. He spent 15 minutes eating his lunch. The picnic table was 325 feet above sea level. How much above sea level was the picnic table from the parking lot? Well, the picnic table was at 325 feet, and now we're going to subtract off what we want to know from the parking lot. So the parking lot, remember, is 123 feet. So 1, 2, 3. And once again, with our subtraction algorithm, we'll start with our number that we have there and minus off that 123 feet. So we'll get a 2 there, a 0 there, and a 2 there. So the picnic table is 202 feet above the parking lot. And finally, Jack hiked back to his car, but since the hike is downhill, it only took him 40 minutes to get back. How long had Jack been away from his car? All right, so now we want to count up all of the time that he hiked for. So he started in the parking lot, and he hiked for 30 minutes to end up where he was the first place. And we're talking about all of the time he spent, so not just walking. So he rested for that 10 minutes. And then he hiked for 25 more minutes. And he spent 15 eating his lunch. And then finally, it took him 40 minutes, sorry, I don't have enough space here, to get back to his car. So this is going to be all the time he was away from his car. So we're just going to add these up. So 30 plus 10 is 40, plus 25 is 65, plus 15 is going to give us 80, and then plus that 40 to get back to his car. So he spent 120 minutes or 2 hours away from his car. All right, so that's all we have for the notes today. That's just a little bit of practice with these adding and subtracting from word problems here. So be sure that you open up the PDF file on your assignment tab after this. So this is 2-1, and make sure you take care of that independent practice on a separate sheet of paper, and then take your photo and submit that to me in Canvas. Thanks, and we will talk to you later for our next lesson.